all the Moses movies, the Ten Commandments, Prince of Egypt, end either with the liberation of Israel from Egypt, crossing of the Red Sea, or with the Ten Commandments. Or in the Ten Commandments movie, at least you get to the golden calf. What you don't get to is the building of the tabernacle, which takes up the last 15 chapters of the book of Exodus. You have all of the action at the beginning, the first 20 chapters, 24 chapters of the book. All of the action is there, and then from chapters 25 through the end of the book, chapter 40, it's instructions about the tabernacle, then a series of events involving the golden calf, the defection and the covenant breaking at the golden calf, and then the instructions to build the tabernacle given again, and this time Israel actually complies with those instructions. So a huge chunk of the book of Exodus is about the building of the tabernacle, and we don't really understand what the Exodus is for unless we see that. Israel is called out of Egypt so that they can keep a feast in the wilderness, so they can meet with God in the wilderness, so he can come and dwell among them in the wilderness. So the Lord, who is the true Lord, who has redeemed them from the false Lord, Pharaoh, can be among them, and they can be his people, and he can be their God. That's the goal. You have these very detailed instructions about the tabernacle, and we can't go into all the details, of course, in this thumbnail. We wouldn't want to, because then it wouldn't be a thumbnail anymore. But we can hit some of the highlights. The tabernacle, of course, is a tent. The tent is surrounded by a courtyard, which is a curtain that sets off the courtyard around the tabernacle from the rest of the surrounding camp. The courtyard is one portion of the tabernacle. You have a first tent or first sanctuary, which is the holy place, and then you have an inner sanctuary, which is the most holy place. All of the sacrifices, all of the bloodshed takes place out in the courtyard. The bronze altar is out there. That's where all of the animals are burned. That's the altar that the Lord ignites with his fire coming from inside the tabernacle. When Israelites come to worship, they come to offer an animal that the priest is going to lay up on the altar, and it's going to turn to smoke. The priests, though, can go into the holy place, and they minister daily in the holy place. Inside the holy place, there's the lampstand with lamps, 7 lamps that the priests keep burning. There's incense that's burning all the time on the golden altar that's inside the holy place. There's bread, the bread of the presence, that's on a golden table inside the holy place. That gets changed out every Sabbath. The priests eat the old bread and put out new bread. And then, of course, once a year, the high priest goes into the most holy place, and he sprinkles blood, and he conducts the rites of the Day of Atonement to remove the transgressions and sins of Israel from the throne of God, which is the Ark of the Covenant. So you have a courtyard, you have an first sanctuary, you have an inner sanctuary. And that tabernacle system represents a number of different things. Just in terms of the tabernacle as a house, the courtyard is the Lord's kitchen, as it were. The altar is his table. That's where his priestly butlers, his priestly cooks prepare meals for him on the altar. They feed the fire that is Yahweh's fire on the altar. The holy place is his living room, as it were. It's got a lamp, it's got a table of showbread, it's got incense to make it smell nice. And then the inner sanctuary, the most holy place, is the throne room. That's what the ark is. The ark is the Lord's throne. He sits enthroned above the cherubim, above the wings of the cherubim on the ark, with the slab of the ark and the box of the ark beneath his feet as his footstool. So the tabernacle is the Lord's royal tent in the midst of Israel. The tabernacle is also a kind of reconstitution of the Garden of Eden. It's the closest that anybody has gotten to the Lord since Adam was expelled from Eden. Now God has a specific place where he promises to dwell, where Israel can approach him. They can't go all the way into his presence, but they can draw near. The priest can go a little bit closer, and the high priest can go even closer. You have a Garden of Eden setting where the people of God can be in the presence of God and enjoy his presence, enjoy communion with him, enjoy meals in his presence in a way that they haven't done since Eden. What we have in the Old Testament is not Adam expelled from the garden, and then we skip to Jesus and we finally get back to the garden. We have the garden reconstituted and reestablished partially and in small ways throughout the Old Testament. The tabernacle is the beginning of that. The tabernacle is also a cosmic model. It's a new world. We can see this in the way the instructions are given in Exodus 25 to 30. 25 to 31 rather. The instructions are given in a series of 7 speeches that replicate the 7 days of creation. And when Israel implements what the Lord has instructed, they create a new world. God created a world by speaking over the course of 6 days, rested the 7th day. Israel is going to create a new world by obeying the word of the Lord in the 6 speeches, and then the 7th speech is a speech about the Sabbath, a command about the Sabbath. So we can see that the cosmic dimensions of the tabernacle from the way that the text is organized. We can also see it in the way that the tabernacle itself is organized. The courtyard is a kind of, it's an earth, it represents the earth, the holy place represents the sky, the heavens, the inner sanctuary, the most holy place represents the highest heavens where the Lord is enthroned eternally. So when Israel is constructing the tabernacle, Moses constructs the tabernacle in Exodus 40. When he's putting up the tabernacle, he is establishing a new world. Now, once again, for the first time since Eden, there's a garden. Once again, there's a place where the Lord can be found, where he's promised to be. In the midst of all those instructions, we have the golden calf incident in Exodus 32 through 34. And that breaks up the instructions about the tabernacle. The Lord gives instructions about, here's what you're supposed to build. Build this according to these specifications. Aaron leads the people in building, but it's not building that. He leads the people in constructing something else. He leads them in constructing an idol, a golden calf. And that breaks the covenant. The golden calf is kind of a false tabernacle. The golden calf is a false mediator, a replacement for Moses, who seems to be lost somewhere up in the cloud. And so Israel, the covenant is broken at that point, and it's only through Moses' mediation that the Lord agrees to continue to dwell among his people and lead them into the land. But after that renewal of the covenant, after the Lord agrees to go with them, then you have this long section that seems to be just a repetition of the instructions that we heard before. But there's a difference. Israel is given these instructions about what to build. They build the opposite when they build the golden calf. Now they've truly repented, because after the golden calf incident, when the Lord gives instructions about what they're to build, they actually do build it. They actually make the ark according to the specifications, and the table of showbread according to the specifications, and the altar in the courtyard according to the specifications that the Lord gives. So what we have in the last part of Exodus is not just repetition. What we have a narrative, even though it doesn't look like a story. It's a story of command, fall, and repentance. And the repentance part is crucial. Israel is being restored to the good graces of God by the mediation of Moses, and having been restored to God's graces, they actually get to work doing the building that the Lord has instructed them, doing what they were called to do, not building for Pharaoh anymore, but now building the house of the Lord at Sinai.